Mobile commerce is on fire. Companies are selling more and more goods and services over mobile channels all across the globe. Let's have a look at some companies and how they make their mobile business successful. We start with the computer manufacturer Dell. Since its launch in the mid-90s, Dell's business has been a poster child for the benefits of online sales. The company's strategy of selling over the internet with no retail outlets and no middlemen has been very successful. Here are some facts about online activities related to Dell. Just to mention a few, Dell is Googled 1 million times per day. Their website supports 34 languages, has one of the largest online communities, and is being visited 1.5 billion times per year. That is how they come up with this incredible result. One order is being placed every 2 seconds. That means sold, sold, sold. You get the idea. Dell has come a long way to get that successful and is constantly experimenting. On this slide you can see their activities during the last couple of years. And again, let's pick out a few to get an impression. In December 2006, they implemented ratings and reviews on their website. After they joined Twitter in 2007, they already achieved 1.5 million in sales via Twitter 1 year later, which expanded to $6.5 million revenue in 2009 after more social media engagement. In 2010, Dell even opened a social media listening and command center to aggregate, monitor, and report on social media conversations around the world. This is how it looks like on their website, where you can see a clear focus on social content. For instance, they implemented the social media buttons or the customer ratings. All these measures helped them to get 175,000 reviews globally in 66 countries and 15 languages. This was an example of how a company successfully built its business around the web. But not only Dell uses social media to drive sales. A lot of companies have realized the potential of social networking sites like Facebook. Let's have a look at some companies and how they use Facebook to sell goods. We start with Load & Freight, a German department store in Munich. On their Facebook fan page, you will see a button for the Facebook shop. When you click on it, you'll get to an online shop within Facebook, where you can directly buy clothes. Like this sweater, for example, for €199. Not only fashion sells on Facebook. There are a lot of different companies trying to use the benefits of social networks. Here you can see a Facebook shop where you can directly buy nice flowers. Even celebrities use Facebook to drive sales. A Facebook store has been implemented on Lady Gaga's Facebook fan page, where you can buy different merchandise products, like this Lady Gaga fan poster. These were the examples for mobile commerce within social networking sites like Facebook. Selling products through mobile channels can be especially effective when used in combination with other technologies, like augmented reality and geolocation. Before we are going to watch an example of a company that used exactly this combination to drive sales, let's first have a look at the definitions. According to Kipper and Rampolla, augmented reality is taking digital or computer-generated information, whether it be images, audio, video, and touch or haptic sensations, and overlaying them over in a real-time environment. Furthermore, augmented reality allows the user to see the real world with virtual objects superimposed upon or composited within the real world. Therefore, it supplements reality. Technically, AR can be used to enhance all 5 senses, but its most common present-day use is visual. Now the definition of geolocation. It is the process or technique of identifying the geographical location of a person or device by means of digital information. The localization information can be obtained in a number of ways, including the global positioning system, radio frequency identification, or Wi-Fi. Current augmented reality applications on mobile devices use geolocation as an aid in figuring out what information should be given to a user at any given time. Let's now watch an example of a company that has benefited from the use of these technologies.
This is an Airwalk store. And so is this. They are the world's first invisible pop-up stores. Stores that can be set up anywhere at any time. Simply by using smartphones, geolocation, and augmented reality. We created them for the limited edition relaunch of the Airwalk Gym, a sneaker originally made for kids who hang out in skate parks or on the beach instead of going to gym class. So that's where we set up the stores. Because the marketing budget was small, we relied on bloggers to get the word out. And on November 6th, 2010, the stores went live for one day. To get the gym, people had to be in the right location, so they downloaded the Gold Run app, found the store, found the shoe, and bought it. It got a lot of buzz. Airwalk got $5 million worth of earned media, and their e-store had its busiest weekend ever.
Tell me what augmented reality shopping is and why that's going to be a big deal this year.
Augmented reality is pretty rad. For example, in New York City, we've got an invisible store where if you're in the right location and you put your phone up, you can see a whole Airwalk store.
An exclusive product sold to an exclusive audience for an entirely new retail experience.
They're a cool style, and I'm glad they're back, and I'm going to get a pair today.
The Invisible Pop-Up Store. Watch out for the next one, invisibly appearing near you.
This was an example of how the combination of augmented reality and geolocation can drive sales through mobile devices. Another way of doing this is the use of QR codes, which can have an immense impact on a company's online sales. Before we have a look at the definition, this is how a QR code looks like. You can generate this code with the help of free online tools. The only thing you have to do is to type in the URL in the QR code generator. This QR code, for example, leads to the website of the Manchester Metropolitan Business School. But what is a QR code? QR codes were invented in Japan in 1994 by Denso Wave, a subsidiary of Toyota. Denso wanted a code that could be decoded very quickly in order to keep track of a very large number of items in their inventory. That is why QR stands for Quick Response. It is a two-dimensional code, which contains information and can be scanned by a QR code reader. Two-dimensional means that the reader scans up as well as across. This enables a QR code to contain much more information than a barcode, as you can see on this picture. To use QR codes, all you need to have is a smartphone, an internet connection, and an application that is able to eat QR codes, like Layer for example. Let's now see how a retailer used this technology to drive mobile sales, and even overtake its competitor in the online market.
South Korea is a unique market. Tesco has been evolving itself, adjusting to the local market. It even changed the name itself from Tesco to Home Plus. And at last, it grew to rank number 2 in Korea. But Tesco had to overcome one obstacle, a fewer number of stores compared to the number 1 company, E-Mart. Mission: could we become number 1 without increasing the number of stores? We made an in-depth study into Koreans once more. Koreans are the second most hardworking people in the world. For them, grocery shopping once a week is a dreaded task. So we decided to approach these busy and tired people. Idea: let the store come to the people. We created virtual stores, hoping to blend into people's everyday lives. Our first try was subway stations. Although virtual, the displays were exactly the same as actual stores, from the display to the merchandise. Only one thing was different. You use smartphones to shop. Scan the QR code with your phone, and the product automatically lands in your online cart. When the online purchase is done, it will be delivered to your door right after you get home. People can relax more after work and on weekends.
실제로 보면서 사니까 진짜 더 좋은 것 같아요. 편하기도 하고.
Result: people can shop at Tesco Home Plus wherever they go without having to visit the actual store. Moreover, we could change their waiting time to shopping time. After this campaign, online sales increased tremendously. Through this campaign, 10,287 consumers visited the online Home Plus mall using smartphones. The number of new registered members rose by 76%, and online sales increased 130%. Currently, Home Plus has become #1 in the online market and is a very close second offline.
This was the example of how QR codes can have a great impact on a company's online business. As you have seen in this presentation, there are a lot of different ways to drive online sales. Each company has to find out its own way to reach their target audience. But one thing is for sure, with the growth of smartphones, tablets, and mobile devices, the digital marketplace will become even more important in the future than it is right now.